Hello guys, and welcome to the last series of the season. And if you know South America, you know what this series is. Doesn't matter who the TO is, they always schedule it last. It's the El Clásico, Thunder Awaken versus BeastCoast. Previously, this team was known as Noping. They were currently the best team in South America. But when El Clásico first started, it was, once again, BeastCoast, or back then infamous against Thunder Awaken, the org. Now Lava, now disbanded. So very, very exciting. These are the two up-and-coming teams in South America, the two teams that have new blood, fresh players that are bringing it back to the international scene. Who's going to win here? Will it be the consistency of Thunder Awaken or the creativity of BeastCoast? We're going to have to see. BeastCoast needs this win no matter what, though, because if they don't, they're going to have to fight tiebreakers against Hokori. If Thunder Awaken wins or loses, they don't care. So it's up to Thunder to decide the fate of Hokori. But you know, Panda, he's been really toxic lately, so he's 100% going to be trying to beat BeastCoast this game. My wonderful panel, we have Lelis, and back in, my favorite panelist is Duster. Hello. How you doing, my friend?
Nice, good evening, man. And I'm doing pretty good, actually. Very excited for this match, and actually, I'm rooting for tiebreakers, to be honest. I'm really hoping to see this Hokori playing again, and who knows, maybe even going to the major. That would be sick.
Honestly, yeah. I'm a fan of BeastCoast myself, but getting Hokori in the major would be pretty awesome. I wanted to ask you, what do you think of the... Like, if you look at these two teams, you know, there's probably the most well-researched teams in South America, right? What are some of the highlights to look for in this matchup? What are some of the things that are going to be key points between Thunder and BeastCoast?
Activity, mostly. Thunder is a pretty straightforward thing. They have their strat, everyone knows it. You either ban or you lose, or like you ban one or two and you lose the third strat. There's not much to do. But BeastCoast is always fun to see, like complete new drafts every game, and I'm excited to see which heroes Chris Luck's gonna play this time.
Well, would you agree with that assessment? Do you feel like BeastCoast can be all over the place when it comes to strategies?
I mean, probably, yeah. I think Chris Luck's probably gonna play some random heroes. They're probably gonna target him in the bans, right? Because he's been playing a lot of like the spirit heroes, so they're probably gonna ban those, make him play something different. And Thunder, they just have like 3 strats. You ban 2 of them, they just play the third one, they beat you. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see which one they will beat BeastCoast with. I mean, that's just how it looks like, right?
Yeah, I wanna talk about some of the specific aspects. That's, by the way, El Clásico only has one S, and there's an accent on the A. We're Spanish and not French. Lelis, I wanted to ask you here about this specific match. We talked about the BeastCoast being like particularly when they came in the scene, something that really surprised everyone was their macro game, right? They have an understanding of the macro game that was leaps and bounds above most teams in SA, right? Thunder Awaken has been perhaps the first team to really catch up to them in that aspect. You always talk about how their plays are so good, they're very impressive in the mid game. Who do you feel is performing better in that sense right now, in the plays they make in the mid game?
I would say Thunder is a less sloppy team. I feel like they make less mistakes, and I feel like BeastCoast still has that they still feed a lot on their supports. You know, it's it's just the way they play. But it just looks kind of weird. They just win some of the games. These bans are super fast. Damn, these teams are ready.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like Thunder, they make less of these mistakes. I think their macro is better at the moment than BeastCoast. BeastCoast, I feel like they've been doing the same thing for like 3 years.
It's fair.
They're still at the top, you know. They just do it well, but I feel like Thunder has been a little bit more polished in their games.
Right. Like, it reminds me of what was the major? No, it wasn't Leipzig. It was what was the major that TNC won? That was a year and a half ago, or 2 years ago almost.
Chong King? I don't know how to pronounce it. Was it that one?
Yeah, I think so. I think it was. And when I remember that time, TNC was playing the same style that BeastCoast still plays today, right? And they kind of fell off because that style of like sacrificing your supports and like creating space by that kind of got phased out. And I'm always impressed that BeastCoast. I mean, I'm half sad that BeastCoast still playing that, but also impressed that they're still managing to pull it through with that style. When TNC literally completely disbanded off that, like they just dropped off the face of the earth afterwards. So it's kind of wild. Do you think there's anything they can do to update themselves? Do you feel like there's been a change since that kind of like the Leipzig major you played with them and stuff like that?
I mean, being completely honest, I don't think so. I think they're still like the same. I feel like they're very reliant on Whisper and Chris Luck doing well, and Hector being able to like farm with all the chaos happening.
Sure.
I think if Chris Luck has a bad game, I feel like this team kind of crumbles. I think that guy he doesn't get as much credit as he should, at least on this team. because I think he does a lot with very little. Because sometimes I think he has improved also. Like, I remember his laning was really weak, and now he's actually pretty decent at laning. He doesn't like get destroyed in the lanes anymore. Because before he would get destroyed in lane, and he would just in the mid game he would just be an amazing spellcaster. Now he actually does well in lanes, and he's still a really good spellcaster. So, not to take away from Whisper, you know, people say that he's really good, which I agree. But I also think Chris has his value to the team.
Of course. When you praise a player, you don't take away from other players, right? We're not Reddit. We can just praise everyone. Thunder Awaken, they pick up the Weaver and the Mars. What do you think of this opener, Duster? We've seen a lot of the Weaver flex into the 3 for them, but do you think that this could be a 3-2, or what are you thinking here?
Yeah, both are flex, I guess. You can also put Mars mid. Does Dark Mago plays Mars mid?
He does.
I believe so. So yeah, it's a good opening in terms of flex, and I'm actually would love to see Sacred playing Weaver. They're sure a really fun hero to watch. I like Matthew playing some other heroes like Earth Spirit. I think he's a very skilled Earth Spirit.
Have you seen this Ember 4 that he's been running in pubs these days?
Yeah, he does some crazy shit.
The thing is, it works, right? He's good at these heroes, right? Which is what always surprises me.
4 also he played.
Oh my god. Yes. Matthew, there was a moment where he streams all his games, right? He's a big streamer in Peru. And there was a moment where he had issues because his behavior score was going down because they kept reporting him and he would keep winning games. Because they just reported him for playing the wrong role, apparently, every single game. Which I think was wild. And that kind of explains what Matthew is as a person, right? He's also the lowest MMR 4 in South America right now. Or was a month ago or so. There's Timbersaw and Death Prophet picked up for BeastCoast. There's the Whisper hero, Lilith. He sometimes takes games over with his Timbersaw. Is it too early a pick, though, on the Timber?
So they haven't ever done this right before. BeastCoast is one of these teams that they adapt a lot to the team they're playing against. So I think was it Thunder that picked this Timber against Mars? I don't remember which team was
Infamous.
It was Infamous, yeah, and they won, right? So I would like Thunder to adapt to and put this. Maybe put this Mars mid and have like have some answer this Timber hero. Don't let him have like a free game. They already banned the Bat Rider and the Viper, but there are other heroes that can deal with it. The Whisper Saw is very strong though. It's one of his most played heroes, at least in pubs. He used to spam this hero a lot when it was mega broken. The hero did get a little bit nerfed, but the hero is still strong. You see a lot of Timber in Europe, like OG. They first phase this hero because they think Amara is just too good on the hero. So I do like what BeastCoast has picked. But Thunder have their bread and butter, right? They have the Weaver, they have the Mars, they have the Flex. They can do whatever they want with it. So I feel like they're fine.
Okay. It's interesting because the BeastCoast philosophy did tend to be that Timbersaw first phase was like kind of like they tried to force it for the second phase for the past like 6-8 months, right? So you're right that they've adapted. They do believe this hero is counterable. But maybe the Infamous game changed their mind. For the DP, do you also think it's one of those massive BeastCoast flexes where it can go anywhere? Willis?
I mean, for sure. Like, this BeastCoast team, they flex everything, right? I'm sure Stinger will play any hero just for the sake of having a better pick. So will Schofield. People say he only plays, like, the melee heroes. I think he excels on those heroes, but he can also play, like, these other heroes.
Yes. He also plays Lena, of course, right? You gotta get some credit there. She's not melee.
That's true.
As Thunder Awaken, let's see what they deviate. Duster, are you hoping for the Panda hero now? Can he go for the saves this game?
It's actually not the greatest save game because you need damage to kill DP and Timbersaw.
Oh,
there it is.
There's the damage.
Right. That's a lot of damage. Like, if you've been following Lich recently, his shard is amazing to get kills. Like, if the hero is alone and you put a shard under him, it just bursts immediately. I like this pick a lot.
Some teams are actually trying this out back. What are your opinion in general about Lich? Do you feel like the hero is actually undervalued right now?
Yes, for sure. I've been playing a lot with this shard build. Like, I just rush shard and it's just so much fun. Like, seriously. Right. When you can actually set up under a ward, for example, and if someone comes to D ward, you can get solo kills pretty much. And all these tanky heroes, you do really well against them because of how much burst Chain Thrust does. I'm just not sure if Frost Shield reduces damage from Exorcism. I believe it doesn't.
It does not. It's only auto attacks, actually.
Yeah,
not
only
physical
auto attacks.
damage.
Should help against Serpent Wars, though. I think.
Huh?
That's nice.
Good point. Yeah, I mean, Panda needs a little bit of savings in his contract, right? He needs a little bit of
Yes.
damage reduction. Otherwise, he can't play.
He has everything now with Leash.
There's the PL for BeastCoast. You've talked about the Hector PL a lot to let us. What is his mentality when he picks this hero?
I mean, his mentality is he sees like two supports and an offlaner that don't do really anything to PL, and he just asks for PL because he thinks that he can just play against any carry, right? Which is a good mentality. Like this pick is very hard. The 17th pick that BeastCoast just did. This pick is very hard because you're gonna get countered in this phase and the next one, right? But the next one you have at least have 2 bans. But this pick is very hard because you're gonna have to pick something and it's gonna get countered. So at least he gives his team confidence that they can actually pick a hero, and he usually delivers every game he plays, right? You know what to expect from the Hector PL.
Right. Is this where what you talked about earlier in the last panel about he has a really high floor comes into play, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like any hero he plays, he will do Hector things, and you can count on him to, at least do the minimum. He will always do it. If you give him space, he will be top net worth and farm.
Thunder let themselves go for the Monkey King. This Monkey King for them is also a flex as a carry and 4. Matthew's best hero probably still Monkey King. I think that was he was known for a while back. Why the Monkey though, Duster? What do you see the strength of the Monkey? Do you feel like it's a counter to Timbersaw, or do you feel like it's a 4 to deal with PL?
Yeah, I think they're gonna put him on lane against Timbersaw. Lich Monkey King seems like a decent lane to kill this Timbersaw and deal with him. So I like to see him as a carry. Just interesting because you're not that heavy farmer as you usually see, but he does play Monkey King, and very well also.
Yes, he does. I mean, Pakaz does play the fast heroes quite decently, right? He has the TA as well in his arsenal. Like, he does play these tempo heroes well. He's not like Hector in that sense.
Yeah, he's a lot more versatile.
5 seconds remaining.
Tigger gets banned. That's that Dark Mago's secret pick they ran at the beginning of the DPC, so they have done their homework. Dark Mago is also one of the few people that doesn't hide their Dota buff and doesn't play an alt, so he just plays on his main account, so it's kind of easy to tell these strats. There's not much secret to it, but, good Tinker ban regardless.
Seriously? That's some confidence, huh?
The guy has nerves of steel, dude. Like, seriously. He pumps 16 hours a day, he plays the same hero, and then you go, I wonder what he's going to pick this next match. Probably that hero.
He probably doesn't even know that his Dota buff is open. Honestly.
That is probably true, Lemons. What are you seeing for the BeastCoast lineup here, by the way? How would you organize this lineup? Because they have last pick now, or they have next pick now.
10 seconds remaining.
I feel like they obviously need a Crystallock hero, so I would say some of the spirits. Surprised to see them ban actually Pangolier. I guess they don't want to play against the offlane Pangolier because Dark Mago doesn't play Pango. But I probably think this DB is gonna be a 5, and we're gonna last pick some Crystallock hero. I would say Void Spirit, Ember, all these heroes are fine. I would lean towards the Void Spirit more. I think you want more magic damage against Lich, and Void Spirit also does well against Mars.
Oh, they banned the Silencer, so they think it's last pick for Stinger, perhaps. That would have been an interesting pick. Very few last pick 5s, though, that could be that impactful. Duster, if you were going to pick a 5 here, is that possible? Do you think a last pick 5 is viable here? Is there anything you see here that's amazing?
You can, of course, but it always feels a bit bad, like you're wasting it. Stinger plays everything pretty much, so I don't know what could fit here, honestly.
That's fair. Yeah, Stinger plays whatever the team doesn't want to play as well, right? It's Chris Luck and Stinger in the pecking order. And they are gonna pick up Rubik.
Shaman 5, maybe? Rubik 4?
That is odd, actually. Yeah, we'll say Chris Luck plays Rubik mid. I don't think that's the case here. I'd be very hype.
5 seconds remaining.
Mars, Lich, tons of good spells to steal.
Alright, now for Thunder Awaken. What do you think, Lelis? Dark Mago playing the Mars, or do you feel like they pick him a different hero here?
So now he sees that think this DP is probably going mid, so they know that it's going to be. So I guess the Weaver is a support, right? and this Monkey King is going carry.
Could
Am I reading this right? It's so
I don't know
confusing.
what to
They have
tell
so many flex heroes. They also flex the Weaver to offlane, but they put the Weaver offlane. They have to put the Mars mid, and they pick another 4.
Okay, so
Okay, so they picked their offlane. Right. So Mars is going mid. Okay.
Yes.
So the Weaver is a 4. Okay. So I guess they thought they needed more team fight, and I mean the Sand King does also deal with the PL in a way. I honestly like Thunder's draft more. I think this Rubik pick was pretty underwhelming, honestly. I think this hero has a hard time in lane against Monkey King and Lich, and I don't think this is a casual lane that Rubik can just go to and just chill. You know, this hero has really weak laning phase and he can get exposed. So I don't think that the last pick was very valuable. But they do have a DP against a Mars mid, which is a very good matchup for DP. I'm surprised they actually put the Mars mid. I guess they think that they just needed more answers to the PL, so they just picked the Sand King, which is understandable. But I'm gonna go with Thunder because they've been more consistent. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
I was waiting for that. He gives his analysis on the draft, and then, but this is the better team, so they're gonna win. Duster, are you gonna break this curse? Are you gonna believe in BeastCoast? Where are you gonna go for?
And I really love Thunder Predator draft. I'm gonna have to go with them this time because I'm a Lich fanboy now. I changed from Shadow Demon to Lich, and it's amazing when you pair up with the Sand King. It's so much damage and so much control. Like you can burst literally every hero in the game. Even this Timbersaw, he can die at any point if you combo Epicenter with the Shrink Frost and Shard, etc. So I love their draft. I'm excited to see.
Okay, well, a panel has spoken. They're both going for Thunder Awaken. Will the Lich prove strong? Will the last pick Rubik prove underwhelming? Or will BeastCoast surprise us with whatever the hell they're thinking with this game? Because they are playing a Shaman 5. That is pretty odd. Let's go into the game and find out with Epulze and Gareth.
Hello!
Thank you, Abo. Always likes... Always nice to be joined by Gareth. You promised me something on your green screen for the last day, and I am sorely disappointed, Gareth.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was toying with it, and I couldn't get the lights quite right. It was annoying me. There was like a small section behind me. But forget about that, Arvo. It's El Clasico. It's time to get ourselves into game 1 of this series. And kind of interesting, you were talking at the start of the panel, every single panelist, how BeastCoast would bring something a little different in their draft. Shadow Shaman and Rubik, I was looking back. They've not played these for like a year. I think Shadow Shaman 8 months ago and Rubik like 11 months ago, so we've not seen it in the DPC from them, and they're definitely bringing something new to face up against Thunder Awaken here. Which way were you leaning? Are you going Thunder as well?
I'm going to give it to BeastCoast, just because, you know, to me the most creative team wins every time, so I like some of their ideas. I think the Shaman 5, we saw VP running this, actually, and it was really successful in EU when that was still a thing, right? So I think the Shaman 5 has a lot of unspoken potential. Okori's been doing something similar, too.
Yeah, I mean, Gojira. He's chased down by Matthew. Paka's also made his way over here. That Thunder Smoke allowed them to get into position early and get an early ward down as well. But yeah, you're right. We've seen Shadow Shaman, you know, hit level 6, get that kind of move into the Roche Pit, right? And have a, 10-minute Aegis or so, depending on if you get the Tome, how fast you hit that ulti.
30 seconds.
Yes.
And suddenly you sneak a Roshan, which could be pretty big here. Having a hero like DP hold Aegis and just pressure towers early on could be something they look for that gives K1 that extra bit of time to farm up and be a beast on the PL.
The one thing I did want to mention, though, as we get about the drafts, is that, as we've, you know, get started with the game, I feel like when BeastCoast and Thunder Awaken do this massive flexing where, like, anything can go anywhere, and you don't really know what's going to happen. I am surprised. Oh,
K1.
Oh, no, the body blocked by Matthew.
He's dead. Destroyed by Dark Margot.
Okay, gave the first blood to the mid. That's not good. I was gonna say, it feels like, you know, when you're like in a writer room for like a show that's like a multi-dimensional show, and you have to keep track of everything that's happening, and like it has to be consistent, otherwise the fans are gonna call you out. This is what it feels like BeastCoast and Thunder's captains have to do every single draft. It feels so overwhelming. I don't know how they pull it off to make it look kind of decent towards the end. I feel like they sometimes outdraft themselves more often than they outdraft the enemy. I'm not gonna lie.
Classic overthinking.
For Stinger especially, dude. The guy has to keep so many things in his mind. Right now that he has a coach, you can actually see the change in his drafting a lot. Not because Stinger's a bad drafter, but because he just has someone to help him, dude. The poor guy was bearing such a huge weight on the team.
Oh man, they're bringing that tri-lane down bottom.
Yep.
BeastCoast trying to give K1 a good early start, right?
Mm-hmm. It's also the Whisper can win any lane, right? Even if he's solo. that's also a very common BeastCoast mentality. Whisper's really good. Let's just let him do his thing.
Yeah, he can win any lane. I do shift things around though, Thunder. Send Pakar's Monkey up top. That hero, I like that pick. Such a nice tempo-setting hero, and then against the Phantom Lance, you've got the options of Battle Fury or Maelstrom if you want to be a little bit greedier, which we know Pakaz is very good at farming away on some of these core heroes. Matthew again, just playing forward on Stinger. Sacred's not going to get near a creep wave, though. He's just waiting around for things. But I guess that's what you expect in a versus a tri lane. As Matthew, good stun from Sacred, make sure the Weaver gets out. He's even holding a Fairy Fire as well.
Yeah, I don't know, because the lane of Lich and Monkey King versus Timbersaw seems like utter hell. I cannot imagine a worse lane pairing for this Timbersaw. I mean, maybe like with Ursa or something, it's really bad. The Lich absolutely zones you out alone, let alone with a Monkey King. So I don't know if BeastCoast can afford this too much. Gojira, by the way, bottom. Yeah,
the swarm's on him. Matthew picking up yet another kill. Sacred, and he's dropping low, but he's got some stick charges and the ability to turn onto Stinger potentially. Matthew looking for it, but he's got cooldowns. Oh, got nothing off cooldown. But instead, go for K1. He stuck around. That swarm was on him, and it's a double for Matthew. Sacred. Oh, he's going to die to the Shadow Shaman. Hefty right click, but look at that triple kill in the laning stage. 2 versus 3.
That's a big oof, Gary. Is it really late to change my prediction? I mean, I know BeastCoast staple is the lose lane win game. But I don't know if you can afford to do that against Thunder Awaken, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, Matthew?
The caliber of this team. Do they kill him with another swarm? I mean, Matthew's got stick charges just to keep on chasing this. He's going to try and commit for it. Gojira clears off the bug. And Sacred, level 1 burst strike, not long enough range. Oh, man, what a cracking start for Thunder down in that bottom lane. Just that quick swap of the Monkey for the Sand King and then all-out aggression. And now you force BeastCoast to shift things around and put Stinger up top. It's like you said, Whisper's not having an amazing time. He's 7-0 on the CS. Frost Blast plus Mangoes on the Lich. It's one hell of a hero.
Okay, the mental games going down to the bottom lane are actually really cool because what you just did is you gave the Weaver a bunch of gold, right? And he's like, I am God. In this lane, I am untouchable. Does Gojira even know how to play a ranged hero? But he knew, and he had to space himself properly, and then he baited the Shikuchi out, and this is what happens with Weavers. Like, every Weaver, even competitive ones, will get overzealous in the lane and feed at least once. Now we'll see how this lane devolves. A Stinger top.
Yeah, they will force them back off of this. Pull across. Ranged and dire creep waves both in a large camp. Yeah, you're right. Usually with the Weaver, it's like an unexpected sentry, or you go under tower and try and get someone who has stick, raindrop, fairy fire. I do like this early raindrop pickup by Gojira just to try and deal with some of this magic damage from Thunder. What's happening mid lane, man? We've looked at side lanes are always so action packed. Mid lane just like okay, farm trade. They have identical CS actually.
Yeah, I was surprised that Lala said that this lane was bad for Mars. I think Mars against any of these, like, sucking heroes, like any of these Rays, I don't know what to call them. He's pretty good because he can just break it with Spear. So he doesn't really suffer. He just pushes out the lane like this and then goes back to farming. I don't think that this lane is anything but a farm fest. Unless someone makes a mistake, I don't think anyone dies here.
Yeah, you're probably right. Yeah, she goes Spirit Siphon, he spares them back. He can clear wave with 2 spells, then go small camp.
Yeah. He even went Soul Ring. Very clever, because this helps you clear faster, right?
Oh, look at that, right?
Also, Dark Mago loves farm. So.
Yeah, Dark Mago just goes to the creep wave under tower, spears it, drags it. Will clear it here, but he has the option to actually drag it into a creep camp and get that bonus farm. The farm plus Avo plus.
For Dota plus, right? Panda move. There's the shackle.
That's nice on Panda. Gets a Frost Blast out. He's still going to die, though, just to the right clicks. Stinger. Chased down by Pakas. On the strike. Should be able to secure this kill. I don't know. He can turn with a Hex and a Salve. Pakas still going for it, but shackled up now. And Whisper trying desperately to push as much damage as he can. Now the DP joins in. They should seal the deal as Pakas should be falling now. Chased down by the 2 cores, and that transition from the mid lane working out very well for C Smile. Oh, there it is. BeastCoast fighting back.
That's a pretty big kill on Pakas, I'd say. Especially because, you know, DP has nothing to do in this mid lane because Mars is going to perma push it, right? And if you just farm on DP, it feels like a waste because you want to push the tier 1 as soon as possible. So since you can use this first catapult, and Exorcism is not going to kick Mars out of the lane, you go there, get a kill on the carry. Well done. I will say though, I wanted to mention like Malo, that creep dragon he did earlier. I think because he's played like 3-4 heroes for like 6 years, he got so good at playing against counters that the way he plays the lane is very creative. And now he rotates as well.
K1 has Doppel here, trying to kill the Swarm before and dodges the spear beautifully. Still in a bit of trouble though, as the arena and the God's Rebuke will be more than enough to clear out the Phantom Lancer and Gojira. That tower offers no safety against Dark Margot with an Arcane Rune. So we'll have that ulti back up in just under a minute.
Yeah. So that was, you know how sometimes you like haven't played against a hero in a while with like a certain matchup, whatever, and you just realize things as the matchup goes. I think Hector there realized the fact that Swarm stays with you after Doppel, right?
Yeah,
and
it's
you can't
nasty.
really do the shenanigans. Yeah.
I think he knew, honestly. Like, he was trying to clear it before using Doppel, but then he saw the spear and he's like, I have to spear. I have to Doppel now.
Right. Right. That's true. That's true. I mean, more along the lines that, like, you just used to play in PL with a certain tempo, right? And then you forget that the Swarm is such a huge counter to you. And, like, it's just muscle memory. And now you adjust it, and he'll be fine for the rest of the game, I think. But it is a nuisance, that Swarm.
That is
sure.
That's the word I was just about to say as well. It is a nuisance. Well, C-Smile in the mid lane, being a pest himself. Exo comes out, chipping away at the tier 1, but Thunder Awaken, they're here on mass. 3 heroes surrounding him. Oh, Margot missed out on the God's Rebuke, but he's got Arena yet again. That Arcane Rune paying off dividends, and in comes the Sand King. Massive rotations into the mid lane. They're going to get 2 and maybe a 3rd. Little Piggy squealing and oinking away, but Stinger, look at him, just hounded by 4 members of Thunder. Where did they all come from? Where's Stinger going to go? A double for Dark Margot, and now 11-4.
I was almost impressed how long Stinger lasted there. I was actually to dive the tower for that.
The pig pole stats, right? Plus 6 all attributes, yeah.
It does feel like they kind of overcommitted, right? Because they were playing the game correctly. They knew they couldn't push this tower, but they got a little bit greedy there. The team fight in Thunder is just much better because you have 2 offlaners, essentially. You're going to hit this level 6 on both these offlaners, and your team fight is going to be so much stronger than BeastCoast, no matter what happens for their game. EP is going to take longer to get online. So it's just something that BeastCoast needs to accept a little bit. I think that was a little bit of a overextension. And Gojira also not the best spacing. As a ranged 4, I don't think you can be next to the DP. I think you have to be behind her to save her.
Yeah, we're so used to seeing Gojira on Tusk, Earth Spirit, these kind of go in and be tanky heroes. I'm kind of curious how that's going to affect his playstyle. Because, well, hang on, Pakas and Panda realizing the level 6 Timbersaw is no joke. Chakram and the telekinesis from Gojira is going to drag Pandamu back into Whisper. And Matthew just chasing down PL, pissing off K1. Look at him, it's a level 6 Weaver against the level 6 Phantom Lancer. He's just going to keep on hitting him until he has to time-lapse. There's no way he gets this kill though, right? Even with an urn charge. Doppel's used.
No.
He's out of there.
Notice this aggressive ward that Matthew put there, right? Obviously, Hector is now pinging the triangle. Like, they've warded this for sure. And this is how you play against BeastCoast. This is the reason they got to be top in South America to begin with, was as simple as they understood the importance of the triangle before any other team in SA did. And even more so than some teams in Western Europe and SCA and whatever. Now it's normal, but back then it was a big deal. They still play like that's the most important objective. It is Hector after all. And the way to counter them, Astinia said this, SG did this against them, just ward their tribe. Just chase Hector all over the map. And Weaver's very useful for that. Because he's a hero that, he might not kill the PL, but he certainly threatens you. And you can't just ignore Weaver, you can't just kill him either.
And it kind of became...
It's hard, rather.
Yeah, it kind of became one of those things where... Oh, Darmago, he's in on Whisper. This DD rune, it's doing a lot to him. Good boundless strike as well. The chain stun to make sure the Rubik didn't have any response while C-Smiles arrived. Exo and the Spirit Siphons are out, but Matthew's going to chase him down. Swarm up the DP, jump in with Pakas, and Darmago with that Blink Dagger securing yet another kill here, it looks like. How many numbers do we have? It's 4 again from Thunder in one place, grouping up for huge fights.
Thunder, once again, they understand the resource they have to spend in each of these fights, so no. Dark Mao got an Invis Rune in the bottle, double damage about to end.
Yeah.
I don't think he can get the kill against Stinger, though, and Stinger actually fights back. There's a sentry here.
There's a dire sentry there. I mean, Dark Margot's got another God's Rebuke. He's going to try. Stinger helps out Whisper. Now, Matthew, he's looking for that finishing touch, and yeah, Matthew's going to be able to Shikuchi back out after the time lapse. Get away from Whisper's Timbersaw, but it's... Oh, he's going in. He's diving for Pandamu. No ulti, no mana for it. Just tries to go for that suck and drag back. Now Sacred in with a Burrow Strike Epi. Sandstorm there as well. Whisper just chaining deeper and hunting the supports, though.
Whisper's not afraid of anything, my guy. Whisper is
Oh,
a
but
good
Rubik?
Timbersaw player.
Does Rubik see him? Oh, he's close.
He didn't. He only has level 1 Primal Spring, right? He knows that's not enough damage, I think.
Oh, with Fade Bolt 4, though.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough.
Weaver was on, I don't know, 300, 200 HP, something like that.
Yeah. Maybe he didn't want to risk his own life, right? Maybe he started to feel like, I feel so weak as a range here. Oh my god, I can't make the plays I did with Earth Spirit.
I'm going to
Why
hide
do
in the
we play
trees.
these heroes?
I'm going to jump up here. Bottom tower, Servant Awards and Catapult. No deny possible, but Matthew, he's trying to chase in, and a well-placed arena from Dark Margot does find a Stinger. Shadow Shaman. And Pakaz. Yeah, doing some funky stuff over near the triangle. Kind of.
I think it's fine. This is what Virtus Pro did as well. They would sacrifice a Shaman for the first tower. This is before they changed to Roche, by the way. So they would just like try to take objectives with it. It doesn't really matter. It's a 5, so you're meant to do that. I think it was a pretty good play.
Like that. Ooh. Whisper.
Ooh.
He's pretty speedy, hasting away, and there's a severe lack of disables there from Thunder. Without Arena, they are relying on that Sand King almost entirely. But yeah, net worth lead actually goes back into the hands of BeastCoast now. It's been dead even with these massive rotations and team fights. Thunder have been exerting pressure, but also expending resources to do so.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Yeah. To the credit of a BeastCoast strategy of lose lane win game, they do have a lot of stuns in their supports, like a lot of catch. And this is essentially what you need to be able to come back into a game where you have less map control. Okay, of course you want to fight around your wards and objectives, but if you catch someone and you catch them with shackles and hex, they're dying no matter what, as long as they're far away. So it's more about learning where to play the map rather than playing division.
Does K1 read it? I think he knew something was coming, but he wasn't fast enough. He was trying to evade that smoke gank, but very well timed by Thunder. And that's a read of BeastCoast, right? That's not necessarily a read of the game. That is a read of, hey, they've got 3 heroes pushing top tier 1. Why are they doing that? K1's in triangle.
It's also a ward that they have there.
That's also true.
That also helps a little bit, right?
Just a touch.
That's the touch. That ward was amazing. It survived the whole duration, hasn't been dewarded. They got the disturbing farm earlier on K1, and now they also got the kill, right? So it's a huge steal, that ward. They know how to play against BeastCoast.
Yeah, I 100% thought that ward would get dewarded. When you said he's K1's pinging triangle saying there's an observer here, I was like, yeah, they'll come deward it.
So.
Nah.
Dude, I've seen K1 in his pubs. This is what he acts like, but I guess he's been too busy calling his teammates trash or whatever. I don't know, that's what he does in his pubs. So maybe they didn't really get the ward part.
They didn't get the memo. Well, Roshan's still standing 14 minutes in. I guess this is what's going to happen when you are pressured so heavily by Dark Margot's rotations. You've not had an opportunity to go into the pit yet. And you would like to use Exo with Serpent Wards to maybe force a fight there and then take Roshan. Also, it's also severely afraid of the double blink, double offlaner you've mentioned earlier. That big team fight is incredibly scary.
They're also dire, right? So the idea of going to Roche Pit is much scarier for them because they have to essentially win a team fight, and that's harder to do. You can't split push lanes and go into Roche like you could with the Radiant, I would say. I mean, you can smoke into like Hokori did, but I feel like Thunder's the kind of team that you don't get away by doing that. They've seen that Hokori strat, and it's not going to work again. Especially
if they have like one hero. I think that's why top lane being shoved by Dire is so useful. As Dark Margot goes in again onto Whisper, and Sacred, he pummels that Timbersaw into the ground. Can they hunt anymore though? Gojira has that stolen Shikuchi, and Sea Smile with Phase Windlace is incredibly speedy. Going Yule's next as well, so max move speed build on the DP coming. But the Burrow Strike from Sacred. Matthew set that up, gave the vision, and this should lead to the tier 1 mid falling.
Meanwhile, Stinger is doing the thing BeastCoast supports do, which is feed. But in exchange, can they get a kill against Pakaz? Perhaps, actually. He's in a circle. And Hector pretends like the real one way. Stinger, can he TP in time? He will!
No stuns.
Oh, wow.
If only Weaver had a stun.
Yeah, thank God, right? Because that's the one saving grace BeastCoast has.
Imagine
that Weaver doesn't have stuns.
Aghanim's Shard Weaver, Shikuchi now does a 1-second stun.
Oh, please stop. Lacoste would have a seizure every time you cast those games. I don't think he'd be able to deal with that.
Just randomly stunned out of nowhere.
He knows, right? And Atos will help against the PL, will help against the Timbersaw.
Yeah.
Gleipnir's a great build on Weaver in general, and it's great against PL, so actually a really good build this game. The Vessel was fine, but, or I mean, it's necessary this game, right?
Against the Timber,
I do like
yeah.
the Atos. Yeah. And DP.
So yeah, I think the big thing, BeastCoast taking that top tier 1 and keeping that lane potentially shoved out kind of forces... Oh, Stinger gets the Hex and wards off. That's big on Dark Margot. Whisper's going to chain back in and see Smile's damage. It's good. Does stun to the Sand King as they lift him and drag him around. Stinger's dying to this Chain Frost, though, bouncing around. Whisper with another whirling death. See Smiles yields himself into the air and survived. Matthew, can he finish it? No, he's silenced. Can't even. Shiguchi, maybe the Spirit Vessel will tick him down. He's getting lower and lower, but still a huge win for BeastCoast.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Mate, I think against BeastCoast, the biggest trap about it is that with their spellcasting being one of the best spellcastings in the world, sometimes they get away with team fights that they just shouldn't. That should not have been their win. What an initiation by Stinger, right? Oh my god. What a first of all, avoiding the spear, just barely walking to the left if you saw that, once he saw the blink, which is impressive, and then immediately turning for the Hex. Like, the choice to not turn in Hex because you know the turn rate would actually condemn you against the Mars, and instead trying to sidestep in the same direction?
Yeah.
What? Why are you so good, Stinger? And this is
Very,
also
very
why they get
skilled.
away with these dumb drafts. If they lost more games, they would draft better. But they don't, because they get away with it.
They're so good. They're bad, is what you're saying. Pandamu,
Exactly.
shield on him. Stinger's being dived by the other two, though, as Whisper, unable to really capitalize on that, goes to Pakas instead, but with a spear and the Wukongs, down goes Whisper. Pakas still up and running. The Fade Bolt, and I think it was a Stolen Swarm. Gojira takes him down. Epicenter not coming out. Sand King yields in the air, but the silence misses. So Matthew, Dark Margot, blink again ready so he can jump and spear. He's trying to dodge it on C-Smile. He's got movement speed, but he doesn't have any HP.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Meanwhile, Hector, if you guys go to Hector Cam, bottom lane, he does sure have a lot of space this game. I'm playing really well. I found the right creeps here. While his team is sacrificing themselves mid. Look, Gojira's even gonna swallow here a full-on
man.
arena plus spear. Get Sandstorm to defend as well. It was a good steal.
Tower is under attack.
K1's like,
Space
I'm top of net worth. What about you guys?
Classic Hector's like, I'm such a good carry. I'm always top of net
And
worth.
look
I
at Thunder
wonder why."
go, man. They're just diving tier 2s like it's their map completely. Matthew kills him, but Dark Margot does die to Whisper, and Sacred's going to die as well. BeastCoast respond in kind. You don't mess with the Whisper Sword.
Right. There is one thing that whenever people talk about BeastCoast versus Thunder Awaken, right? The one thing people always mention is that Thunder Awaken is the more consistent team. That's a bad matchup against BeastCoast because they play their macro game as well. But the one weakness I think that Thunder Awaken has against BeastCoast is that Mago loves to die. He loves to just play like a madman. And BeastCoast like fuels that fire so much that he will make these misplays all throughout the game. If I can reveal one thing about their comms that Panda was telling me, is that Mago in these plays, what he always does is, I can't specifically translate the word because it would not be appropriate for stream, but he goes and says, I will go in, you fucking cowards. And then he just like jumps in and his team is like, no, the whole time. Like trying to get him to stop. And Panda just joins him now. Like you see, like whenever Dark Mago dies, Panda dies with him. Because he is ready to die for his mid laner. Which is very commendable. But that's just the adaptation Thunder had to do for Dark Mago. He loves to fight. Just loves to take these fights behind the tier 2s.
Well, I mean, you never want to be the prey, right? You never want to be the ones being ambushed. You always want to be the ambusher, not the ambushee. Makes perfect sense. Dark Margo, I'm a big fan. But like,
would you shout that in a pub?
What? Sorry.
Would you shout that in a pub, Gareth? Would you go, I'm going in, you cowards?
I think I have. I'm pretty sure if you ask like Knoxville and whoever else I've played with in the past, that's exactly what I've said. I'm going in was like my catchphrase for a long time. I'm going in. Yeah. Follow me if you dare. Yields into the air. Dark Margo, he kept it bottled. He's got the shield on him. In comes the silence of the DP. Dark Margo somehow still alive as Gojira spears Pakas back. He got against the cliff. Now Sacred, it's his turn to join in. Whisper dying to all the magic damage. The tower hit will help secure it. And once more, we see Thunder 5-man united, grouping up together, while BeastCoast trying to split and find these pickoffs.
Stinger's bottom, protecting Hector and helping him farm, dude. He's like softening the creeps for him like a baby, like a bird mother here.
Oh, see Smile. That's not where you want. You just saw 2 people die mid. You can't sit around there.
Yeah. I don't know, man. These BeastCoast gets away with these plays, but I feel like the choices to fight, they're all wrong. Like, they shouldn't have fought in the river. They shouldn't fight now. Stinger is solo killing Darkmago now.
No, he's not.
Why?
No, he's
No,
not.
he's not. Darkmago gets away.
He's going to die to Matthew, probably. He's got no TP.
Yeah, he has no TP.
Yeah, he's absolutely dead here.
He's just gonna... He's playing Schofield this game, actually.
That's true. No, I did ask that question. What happens to Gojira this game? Because he's usually enemy side of the map, trying to create space, give vision, break smokes. It's very much been the Shadow Shaman.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Still...
I mean, he has better stats than Rubik for sure for tanking, so I actually kind of agree with this.
Sacred
Also
and
a lot more counter.
Pakas. It's a difficult battle against Whispersort. And reinforcements are arriving. Dust and Crypt Swarm. Gojira steals the Sandstorm.
I love that.
I'm still wondering about this Roshan, though, hey? Like, level 2 Exo's there. Probably a bit sad that Stinger dumped the Serpent Ward's bottom to try and kill Darkmago, because they would... You know, with that kill, you go in the pit. Radiant is scanning it, because it's kind of expected. But BeastCoast more content farming away.
Yeah, that Roche is a dangerous proposition. It's like when you have like a piece of chocolate that you know you shouldn't eat, but you put it just outside of your field of vision. You occasionally glance at it and you go, I really want to eat that piece of chocolate. No. That's some self-control.
Why would you not want to eat a piece of chocolate? Chocolate's for eating.
Because... Right, because maybe you want to stay healthy, diabetes, these kind of things.
Oh.
Yeah, anyway. That aside, we're all gamers here. We all eat the piece of chocolate. But the BeastCoast, they're exercising self-control here, and they're not taking the Roche, which I admire. Usually not something this team has very much.
Self-control?
Yeah. Once Hector has he's come online, I think, with the SNY, which he's building now, I think they might try to threaten the Roche. I think that's the fight they can take, actually.
Here's a tanky boy, though. Thunder. Still in a dead even game in terms of net worth. Making another big smoke, but the dire scant connects on this migration, and Sacred initiates, unfortunately, onto a group of illusions. And now BeastCoast is their turn to smoke. Stinger and K1, they are grouping up.
I stole Shukuchi.
Nice. He's got some pretty good spells to steal this game.
Yeah, like Duster said, it's a really good Rubik game. Not the big Rubik, you know, I steal Black Hole, but more of the small Rubik spells.
Darkmago lifted back. Pakaz with a Boundless Strike, but in comes Sacred, blows up Gojira. Chain Frost inside the arena, destroys Stinger, and Sea Smile is trapped in air as well. They do buy back on Stinger Shadow Shaman. What's he going to do? He's TPing into the middle of everybody. They're just going to die here to the Monkey King, whacking away at him, and they're going to try and get the hell out of here now. Darkmago TP's back home. Whisper and K1, they're on Pakaz. The Boundless Strike heals it back up to full, though, and he's battling onto the Timber Saw, but he can't finish the job. Yules up into the air, so this massive Mjolnir will finally shred through him. But man, a 4 for 4, a 5 for 4. If you count in, there was more. Gojira and Stinger both brought back. Who won that fight? I've got no bloody clue.
I'd say because the carry survived, and that's the BeastCoast modus operandi. It's probably BeastCoast, right? Because like now the alarm bells are ringing at Thunder Awakened sites. Hector's online, Hector's online, and everyone's like, no, you know, there's a fire. Everyone's running around headless. It's kind of scary. That team fight seemed kind of unkillable. I will say though, did you see what Gojira, like how that team fight initiated onto him? He like ran out of Shukuchi. He's like, oh, I didn't know the spell had a timing. I thought the spell was forever, and he just kind of stood there. My God. Why? How do they win a fight like that, or how do they even equalize a fight like that? That was not.
Yeah, with that arena Chain Frost is like everything looks so good from Thunder, and then it's still like, okay, you buy back 2 supports and then you break even. But I think you're right. The fact that's why I couldn't figure it out. The fact that K1 survives and he seemed untouched is the worrying factor.
Because it's not even what the fight represents or what the fight gives you, right? It's more of a... Yeah, sorry, it's what about the fight represents, right? It's about the fight saying, maybe we can't kill this PL anymore. Like, maybe he's reached that point already. And our Monkey King has Mjolnir, but Mjolnir is just okay at Monkey King. It's not like... there are other heroes that utilize it better to deal with PL. It certainly is not going to destroy this PL. Especially not with Heart.
Yeah,
and SNY.
I think I do like it over the Battle Fury this game. I kind of thought he would go Battle Fury, but the fact he's against Timbersaw as well, having that magic damage really proved vital.
Yes.
Like right at the very end, he killed off that Timbersaw to make it look a little bit better in that fight.
I love that you mentioned that, because what I like about players is that you can have your own subjective opinion as to what the player is doing is correct or not, but it's cohesive with his playstyle, right? He plays fast with Maelstrom, he plays slow with Battle Fury. He played fast, hence he builds the Maelstrom. Well done, right?
Yeah.
Whether that works out or not, we're going to have to see. It's kind of a bid by them, but he's certainly doing the right plays.
I mean, that was also double BKB timing for Thunder, right? They had Monkey and Mars. So it was meant to be a kind of a big gotcha moment. But BeastCoast just finding these ways to fight back and continuing to open the map for themselves, carving a bit of terrain down bottom where Stinger's showing and baiting a little bit. But Thunder take that Roshan, Aegis, and clearly moving up to that top tier 1.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
They're going to have to get a lot more, though. Like top tier 1 and 2, get the outpost, because look at this bot lane. Whisper's just tanking the tower shots.
Are fortified.
Thunder actually forced to glyph. Mid lane's being cut.
Radiant's
PL illusions plus Gojira there. So the efficiency
Gareth.
is BeastCoast.
is under attack.
What's up?
I want to bet something. When since Gojira is stealing 2 dance a lot, do you think at any point in this game, either Whisper
Yes.
or
Just-
Hector are gonna cut
Timber
the
will.
tree?
Timber will, for sure. Guaranteed.
Just double checking. Great. I think the same thing. I actually think it's going to be Hector, by the way, because if there's some person in this team that has no regard for anyone else's life, that is Hector. So I think he's going to dump into the trees.
Dire's top tower
Just doppel him down.
But we'll see.
They're going high ground, by the way. Yes, Thunder got the top 2 towers in the outpost. BeastCoast, they've got a lift on the Weaver. He's dead. The deep ward and sentry from Gojira. Find the kill on him. Sanking comes in. Sacred sets up on Whisper, though. They've got that arena spear and the disables to catch him. The Yules and the BKBs are going to use it and get out. No. Right clicks are more than enough as the Chain Frost bounces back in. See Smile, BKB'd. Exo goes to go in. They have to clear these PL illusions, though, and that's why Pakaz throws out the Wukong's command. K1 half HP, doppelgang away. Sacred, where's the burrow? 2 seconds cooldown. Need Dark Margo to land a spear or something, but he's silenced up for a second. That's it from Sacred, though. Sets it up wonderfully, and Gojira can't get back to the high ground, so a 5-man wipe going the way of Thunder, defending their base, holding on for that tier 3.
I'm not sure about that one for BeastCoast. I don't know about that play. Like, the Timbersaw just died. Go, go, go. This is our moment to shine. I don't think that was it for BeastCoast. They took the Aegis. It was a pretty good fight in the beginning. You sacrifice Whisper for it. That's fine. And then afterwards, you force a fight into the enemy high ground. Obviously, you already have a disadvantage, but without your Timbersaw. Like, he's your tank that gives you vision in those fights, right? Then you could see Chris Luck there kind of having to take that role and playing more forward. That wasn't the way to do it. Usually Schofield makes up for the lack of a Whisper, but this case he's playing a Rubik. He can't do it. So that it was 100% a retreat kind of fight. I don't know why they forced that.
I don't know, man. I kind of see that as BeastCoast feeling themselves like, okay, Radiant are 5 heroes trapped top. We're on high ground, breaking it with Timbersaw PL. It feels good to be like I can absolutely imagine them saying it feels good to be here. Let's do it, and then kind of forgetting that the circles are there from Thunder. The arena and the Wukongs just demolish them. Yeah. Because like once you're in that feel-good position and you're pushing high ground and thinking you're going to do something, then Whisper being caught is like, okay, now it feels less good. And then Whisper dies, now it's even less good. And then Sanking stuns you and okay, now we're bad. But how do you retreat once you lose that feel, once that mentality shifts? It basically just has to be K1 saying, right, you're all dead, I'm out of here. And that feels even worse than trying to fight.
I feel like the call has to come earlier, right? I think when Whisper died, they still had a chance, because like, what, are you going to chase him with the circles? They don't move, dude.
Just everyone try and run away. Oh, Panda. Down he goes. And they've also used up Dark Margo. He's got BKB when he lands, but he's been bashed up, and he's losing HP at a drastic rate. Can't rebuke them back, but look at who's lurking. See Smile and Stinger. They're hunting for additional targets off to the left-hand side. Don't find Pakaz, so they'll just leave Dark Margo to BeastCoast.
I do like that, actually. I like that they were hunting there. Potentially, they could have found someone that makes a mistake here on Thunder. This is what gets you... after playing SA for so long, you're used to people like going and save their teammates. You know, you play Apu 5 times, and you think maybe they'll go. So you start developing this style a bit more. The Basher is a big, big point as well for Hector. No way can you run away like that. He's also going to go for full Abyssal first, and then fully the Lincolns, his favorite item this patch. Pakaz?
What's the Lincolns for?
His favorite item. I'm not joking about that. He builds it every game.
But is it even that good? Like, okay, that's fair enough. But I'm just like trying to rationalize it further. It's like...
So how Hector explained this to me, right, when we was building Lincolns, essentially what he says is, there's always an item that's a little bit more broken, and that's always the best 6th item, right?
Okay.
Before he thought it was Silver Edge, remember? When you just build Silver Edge every single game? Right. And now he says, the stats in Lincolns makes it kind of a broken item. It's always a good late game item, and there's always something to block when you buy a 5th or 6th. Whether it is
a Hex or...
like in this case, like a Hex, or like in this case, a Sinister Gaze or Barrel Strike, right?
Yeah.
That's fine too. It's just always a feel-good item, and Hector always has one item this patch, like every patch, that he feels like it's good on any hero. And Lincoln's is the one for this patch.
Okay. It's just like, I'm looking at this and thinking Lich is never going to click Sinister Gaze on the real PL. Like, that's not happening.
Yeah, he'll go Axe before he can accomplish that, right? So
yeah. Well, maybe he gets Axe from 3rd Roche, right? Then you just...
Also, the Lincolns will reveal the real PL. If the Burrow Strike into a bunch of them, the one that gets blocked is the real one. So, you know. That's a problem.
Yeah.
But you are not ever going to convince Hector that to not build this every single game. That's not the kind of man he is. He is stubborn to a fault. So, you know, not much we can do here, Gareth. We can just observe and watch Hector do his thing.
I will watch him buy this Lincoln Sphere item.
Yes. You know, one of my favorite conversations that I had with Hector was when he talked to me about how to build, like, different unorthodox carries. Like, you can suggest anything to Hector, and he'll be like, oh, that works, you know? And, like, oh, yeah, Mars carry, I like that idea, right? What if we built, like, S and Y, and then BKB, and then maybe go for, like, a Scotty? They go, oh, yeah, what about, like, if you're playing, like, Rubik carry? Oh, yeah, I built, like, S and Y, BKB, Scotty. Like, mate, you know they're different heroes? And he goes, but Avo, the items are good on anyone. Doesn't really matter.
This is the...
And then I question...
This is the kind of guy that buys Radiance on every hero. It's like, Radiance is just mega value. Why wouldn't I buy it?
Yeah, this is like the Nickel Baby 2.0, essentially, right? It's just Hector is very similar to that. In fact, Epileptic Kid, or sorry, Nightfall and him have a very similar idea in that regard. That's why they shared a lot of ideas. They think a lot of carries deviate too much, and there's always the most efficient build. And the logic behind this is that since you're the win condition, why should you ever deviate from your build? Like, you should always try to maximize your impact in the game, not try to adapt to anyone else. Which does make sense, to be honest.
Maximize gains, don't minimize losses.
Yes.
And
exactly.
Defending high ground, Dark Margo and Sacred just blowing up Gojira. Sand King is going to get shredded by Whisper, though. Chaining forward and looking for anyone else. No, he can't find the Mars, can't use him to stop his TP. And another high ground attempt, falling foul.
Okay, not bad. I mean, as long as you preserve high ground. I mean, what's the question here, Gareth, is who has the better late game, though? Like, can PL match the Monkey King in late? I don't know. I don't know if you can kill him in a circle, honestly.
Yeah, I don't know. It's more like Sand King, Mars, and Monkey King have so much lockdown. Sure. Like, every core has a stun, right? So no matter where you are on the map, you have ways to cancel TP or, like, catch Shadow Shaman, kill supports, blow them up before they can cast spells.
Yes.
So I think it's more about, like, ignoring PL and then kill everybody else.
And ironically, I think PL do the same thing with Monkey King, because you're not going to kill him in a circle, right?
Yeah.
But I feel like the spells on Thunder are better at ignoring, because you have mobility spells and stuns that also move the enemy team, whereas when you have a Shadow Shaman or a Rubik, the idea is, I caught him, guys, let's murder him. And it's kind of difficult to do if Monkey King is in the middle of his ult, and you have to shackle him, and the guy has 1,000 armor, and you go, well, PL's never going to get through this, right?
And you've got Swarm on you, and there's a Frost Shield, and there's an Arena.
Yeah.
How do you do a murder if there's so many things shielding these heroes?
Right, you ever heard of the Icicle murder, right? What if they're wearing nice armor? That's impossible. So he's going to go for, he's going to finish the Linkage. I would like it if he bought Shard, by the way. I feel like Shard would be super useful, and it's only 1,400 gold. Much better than Linkage.
Straight on Gojira. They've hexed up the Sand King, and Whisper's there inside the Serpent Walls, whacking at him. But Matthew and Pakar's there in the back lines, hunting for Stinger as that big Wukong's zones BeastCoast out. And now the completely split Dire team are looking for a re-entry point. They want Panda. They want to get back in towards Matthew as well. Whisper links in on them. Dark Margo taking a lot of damage from this double Chakram. K1 is going to rejoin too. Get on to the Monkey King while the Weaver Yuled up. Shikuchi's off to safety. That Chakram damage, it is serious. And Roshan is about to respawn. I don't think either team are really capable of getting it, though.
Yeah, that was frustrating to watch. Poor Timber trying to catch a Weaver. That was so difficult. I think the way BeastCoast is proposing the fights, though, is correct. They're kind of accepting that Shaman and Rubik are dead men walking, right? Like, they're going to be killed no matter what in that fight. So you might as well get as much utility out of them before they do die. And that was what Stinger did as well. Like, Stinger just went in, shackled Crixilus or Sanking, and then immediately went, I will die for this, but at least get the kill on Sanking. And it was a worthwhile trade.
Crixilus.
Get rid of the swarm, please.
I heard that name in a long time.
Sorry, I'm an oldie. Also, South Americans still call it Crixilus.
Oh, really?
Don't call it SK. Yeah.
Good old Crix. King Crix.
Yeah.
Roshan about to die, and Parkas jumps in. Aegis on the floor. No one's taken it yet. Wukong's command is out. He balance strikes, and then it's Whisper to pick up the Aegis as he Smile goes in and kills off Matthew. Parkas still in the pit, though, as Dark Mago has spent his BKB arena, and this Whisper K1 duo ready to get back at it again. They've got another arena, though, as they refresh up. Dark Mago is BKB too. K1 stunned up. Parkas whacking him. He's nearly dead. The bash is the death. No, the doppelganger. The escape out from K1. He's healing up with the heart, but they've got him surrounded. Thunder Awakens, comes in, clears out that pesky Phantom Lancer, and Whisper did lose that life with the Aegis and had to run away.
Yep. Imagine if this was 2 years ago and we could like, how could you ever possibly tell who got the Aegis in that fight if it's not saying in the side?
No, you have to click.
Impossible.
Click all the PL illusions, and then you're like, wait, it's not this PL, not that PL. There's just so
Your computer
much.
started to break.
Oh man, I've had to restart the game already.
Yeah, makes sense. Monkey King and PL, right?
Monkey King
That's
PL.
a real test of our hardware.
I mean, I've just bought a new PC as well.
I feel like the way BeastCoast proposed the team fight once again is not ideal, right? Your counter initiation is relying on your supports. Yeah, we can see the replay here. So you can see like they stay in the pit for way too long, right? And then the Wukong's command is set up, and it's just PL taking a bunch of damage. Whisper dies. I don't know. I feel like they should have disengaged once Whisper died and just leave Whisper die alone. A second time, whatever. In fact, he could have actually just left because he had Blink Dagger. I was surprised they decided to fight against that Malo. He's also the worst objective to kill. He's way too tanky right now. He has AC. No way Hector is killing him. So, once again, BeastCoast just fighting off more than they could chew. They could do with a bit of a retreat. No, they're too Spanish, not French enough.
It's just that if you retreat, you kind of give up on Roshan. Like,
Right, but retreat after you took the Aegis. You know, like they had a chance there. I mean, at least to go to the high ground. Worst case scenario, you reposition, right?
Like you lose Whisper once,
That's
you
how I
lose two
see it.
supports, and you run away. I guess K1 did stick around, but then yeah, I can imagine like miscommunication there. Like take Aegis. Who took Aegis? Where is the Aegis? You know, where is the Aegis?
Yes.
And Whisper's like, I took it. I've already died.
Yeah, it's really difficult to make calls in those situations, right?
It's just frantic.
Because there's just so much going on. Yeah. Like, I wouldn't blame them for not being able to do that, but obviously when you want to match Thunder Awaken does these calls perfectly. That's what differentiates them from all the other teams. It's incredible. I don't know if Matthew just mutes everyone and nobody's allowed to speak but him, but like the calls they make in these situations are always really solid. They understand when they're strong on the enemy team. And that's where Matthew kind of comes into play. The why Thunder Awaken, I think, is currently valued higher than BeastCoast in SA.
Oh, Monkey King, level 28. Swift blink on the horizon. Dark Mago, well, he just finished that refresher, right? So, looking for his overwhelming blink and the Aghanim Shard when he gets a bit more money. But I guess this is the period of the game we start thinking about buyback status being incredibly important, even on the big core heroes.
Yeah. The refresher, by the way, on that Mao was huge in that fight. We didn't really... I mean, we touched upon it a little bit, but... I feel like that Mao has hit his second power spike, right? Whereas I feel like the DP has completely fallen off this game. I don't really see him doing much in these fights. Not really to C-Smile's fault. It's just, you know, it's a DP. You died up into the early game. You don't really recover. You don't farm that fast. And now you have to stay alive against Monkey King, Mars, and Sanking? No.
Especially when you're not you're not the front foot team. You're the ones on the back foot. DP feels awkward very often in those cases. Yeah, back to a point you said after the previous team fight. They were kind of focusing Dark Mago, and he's A, tanky, but B, he'd already spent everything, right? His double BKB, his double arena, and then it's still trying to kill him off. And it's like, is he that much of a threat? I guess he is.
To be honest, I think that they didn't check his inventory for refresh because that was the first time he reveals it, right?
Yeah.
I think that surprised them. I think they went for Dark Mago because they saw him waste his first arena. And they're like, oh, first BKB, first arena?
Kill him.
Gucci. Dark Mago dies, right? And then Refresher surprised them. So that could also be.
Because then even if he buys back, it's like he doesn't have arena, so no BKB,
Yes,
no arena,
exactly.
who cares? Oh, yeah, this...
I feel like BeastCoast doesn't check inventories. I mean, they told me that a year ago they didn't even put rush timings down. So I'm pretty sure they don't check inventories either.
Just play your own game.
This'll come in handy.
Well, this mid lane
Yeah, I don't know,
is
mate.
proving to be
I
a
don't
bit...
know that's what to say. Good justification, Gareth. Good save.
Yeah. I mean, mid lane's
Just a meme team.
a bit annoying. Gonna keep coming back and defend it.
Whoa, that was a range of a steal, huh?
What do you
Oh my
get?
god.
Sandstorm.
Oh, that was trash. Yeah.
Not
A lot
great.
of talents. This is a very underwhelming skill in the late game.
Matthews lining up for Stinger. There's no way for anyone to really get there, though. And just try and force them back. Whisper. Oh, Dark Margo. He has to BKB and TP. Nothing to cancel unless... Oh, man, that wasn't far away. He was phantom rushing for that Abyssal Blade.
Yep, that was very close, actually. Whisper dealt so much damage to Mars, right? So if they can just kill him before the BKB happens. Like, Mars actually might be a good target as long as the Shaman gets a Shackle off him. Because if they prevent the BKB, now the Shaman has BKB for himself, or he's had it for a while. But if you can just blink, Hex, BKB, and Shackle, I think they can kill Mars. But they gotta get Whisper to just go straight on him.
Yeah.
They have no save on Thunder, right? No Axe on Weaver? Yeah.
Dyer's
They can probably kill anyone doing that.
attack.
Let's go on the Monkey King,
Sure,
go on the
but-
Mars. Whoever you see first. I mean, Sacred. He's the one that breaks vision.
Sanking.
And there's the damage. Looking good. Sanking down with no buyback. Pakas and Dark Margo chuck the ultis at them, but struggling to chase them back is BeastCoast. Disengage. Whisper. He's BKB'd up and chaining out of the arena. Sea Smile still moving forward. Well, Matthews Weaver in the back lines being hunted. Panda moved down up at the front. And Whisper's got the Yules on Dark Margo. Chakrams are ready yet again, and the big damage comes in from BeastCoast. They've killed off 3 in a row.
Okay. That was much better played by them. I think if they do this, Thunder Awakening doesn't have much counterplay, except don't reveal heroes to Shaman. Like, Shaman is the most important hero on BeastCoast right now, I think.
Cut the tree.
He did.
He's got Quelling
It's a
Blade on
Quelling Blade.
Gojira.
Bottom tower is under
But yeah, this is BeastCoast having the vision advantage, having that first jump advantage, initiation kings,
Yeah.
Radiant's
And now,
middle barracks are under
settling the score in that mid lane.
Radiant's middle barracks has fallen.
I'd argue, Gareth, that Shaman is one of the best scaling supports in the game. Because of how much that stun matters in the late game. And the Hex, right? Much better than Lion, I would say, as well. Because the Finger of Death on the Lion seems much less impactful than the Snakes, at least right now. Because of the push that they provide and the stats to the Snakes. So I'm glad. I think they're utilizing the Shaman very well.
Well, yeah, it's like in the late game, you know, you just, if you got the Shard, you just Shackles, clear a creep wave. You got Ether Shock, clear another creep wave. Serpent Wards, you're on a tier 3. And as a position 5, you don't really mind dying for those ballsy pushes.
Okay, he's too fast. I will say, though, that I gotta commend Stinger for not deviating into the shard. You know, very typical for a Shaman to just go, oh, I just got a cheeky shard. You know, it's like a casual shard, whatever. It's not that expensive.
Yeah.
But that would have delayed BKB, that would have delayed Blink Dagger, and those are much more valuable items. So, again, self-control by BeastCoast, dude. This is unheard of.
Feels kind of similar to Earth Spirit in that regard. Like, we've seen a lot of Earth Spirits kind of skip boots, not finish the urn into Vessel just to get a BKB or get an Ags. Like, rush that key item that's going to help you win the game, rather than a medium to small item that's going to help you, like, accelerate or do a little bit better here and there. Very, very focused, game-winning oriented from BeastCoast. K1 not going to find the monkey.
Oh, got Sanking.
And
The
well,
Abyssal Blade's been used, but he still had that Ascetics cap on. That's unfortunate.
they're going to try and... Oh, they can't chase him deeper. He's got back to base.
Ooh. Gareth.
What have you seen?
The real counter to Shaman.
Was it?
Ags on Weaver.
Oh, nice.
Okay. So now, what Gojira needs to do is acknowledge that his life is also worthless and jump on the Weaver. Just telekinesis the Weaver, no matter what happens.
And PL pretty happy he has that Lincoln's, because Weaver has an Orchid. Yeah, something to block now.
I love that that's how you do it. Like, Hector just builds it, and then someone will build eventually something which makes it useful.
He's not wrong, is he?
Build first, justify it later.
Well, they saw real K1, but Pakas decides he wants to go on to the supports instead. Stingers, BKB, shackles, they're irritating, but the ulti from Darmago shows him what's for as they move in towards the Rubik now. Gojira there as Whisper's battling with Pakas. It's all split off left and right. The Monkey King picks up Whisper's life, and they're going to go for C Smile now. Thunder Awaken initiating back onto BeastCoast in their own jungle, and C Smile dropping so low so quickly. The Chain Frost is going to try to bounce back across from PL and into Whisper, who bought back and died. He gets tipped for his efforts. He's gone for 2 minutes. Can they get K1? Do they just go throne?
I think they can. I mean, there's no buybacks on anyone.
Do they know?
Why? Gareth? Why do they do that?
I don't know. Like, they know Whisper has no buyback. They can maybe think that DP has one, but yeah, you just push mid into tier 4s and throne.
Yeah. I would even buy Desolator on Pakas, genuinely, like right now, or go through Gold 2.
It really does feel like one of those games where it's reductive and simple as it feels I'm making it. Whoever jumps first is just demolishing these fights. K1 he's going to try and 1v5. He's got no other bloody option. Pakas is on him. K1 half HP is all he's got left to work with. Another doppel in a second, but he's dead. Buyback required. Your tier 4s are crumbling. The foundations of the database shook, and K1 can't do anything. Thunder Awaken's going to take game 1. GG is called.
Wow, what a game! Honestly, I think. No, I feel like Thunder Awaken played a really solid game. Once again, the consistency coming into play. They weren't really sloppy. Like, the team fights where they got caught is just BeastCoast playing particularly well, and then Thunder Awaken tried to make something out of it. But I wouldn't say that Thunder Awaken made any plays that was questionable. What my concern was it seems like Thunder Awaken identified what the real strengths of the BeastCoast lineup were before BeastCoast did. They knew it was the supports. They built Ags on Weaver, they made the call to go Shaman instead of Hector, and it seems like BeastCoast disregarded that as if like Thunder Awaken was making a mistake. That was such a wild last play, man. Kudos to Matthew for realizing so soon about that. That was really on point for Matthew. He has half the information we do and still knew exactly what to do. But also, BeastCoast, please, guys, just learn to retreat sometimes.
Once they're in, they're in. They
Yes,
really try to bite off the heads of Thunder in these team fights. And like, I can... Like, okay, it may be like suboptimal, or you could, argue and rationalize it wasn't the right move to make, but I can understand and I can actually back the like mentality of it, because
which is
like, imagine this goes the other way, right? Imagine they eke out a couple more team fights like they did nearer the Radiant base, where they caught them out, killed the Sand King, the move they took, mid and bot ranks. It looked pretty good for BeastCoast, and if you beat them like this in game 1, I think it kind of shatters the mentality of a team. Like, we did everything perfectly. Every smoke move we made was great. Every team fight we took was executed to perfection. Thunder Awaken, if they lose a couple of scrappy fights where BeastCoast are like, yeah, we got you there. It could really be mentally defeating, honestly. But Avo, it's time.
I can see that.
Time for you to pass it on, I think.
Yeah, I think we gotta hear from Avo again. So let's go over to him. Thank you, Avo. So in that game, it made me think that if you're better for BeastCoast, probably sad for you. But if you ever consider dating one of the players, the amount of commitment these guys have, it's impressive. So, kudos to BeastCoast for that. Really, really going in all the way. And can you guys tell me what happened in that game? Duster, let's start with you. Do you praise Thunder Awaken or some criticism on BeastCoast?